I'm here with my boy Josh Kenyon. It's about 8 in the morning. We're literally in the middle of nowhere at a secret gym. So my boy's about to take us through a pull workout. Go follow this man. Super knowledgeable. Tell him your IG.
Gotta do right, man. Just Kenyon the third. So KENYONTHE, the number 3 RD. If you just look up Joshua Kenyon, you'll find me on there. You can look at my YouTube channel. I don't have too many videos myself, but I'm a natural bodybuilder. I've been lifting for like 7 years, since I was like 13, man. I've been doing this behind the scenes for a while until I finally competed for the first time. And here we are right now. We're just trying to go to Gainesville, you know, so.
All right, so let's hop straight into it. All right, so we're starting with bent over rows. Kind of working heavy, about 5 sets. Work up to a top set and then come back down and get some more reps in.
Yeah, we'll hit 3 straight sets of the same weight, around 6 to 8 rep range, heavier, and then we'll drop down two more sets, kind of like down sets, stricter form. Just still working on that technique right now. That's why I'm doing like 5 sets. Typically I might do around just 3 working sets, but since my intensity is lower each set, my volume is going to be a little bit higher. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Look at that, yep. All out, all out.
So form is everything on these. Obviously the heavier you get, the harder it's gonna be to stay stable. You're gonna wanna lean over. So it's important to stay focused. Focus on the drive back, the contraction. This is one thing about Josh. His form is great. He'll get heavy, the form stays perfect. That's what it's all about, man.
So now we did our 3 heavier sets, that's around that 6 to 8, 6 to 10 rep range. And actually I did move up and weight the last set. I was just feeling it, so I went up to 295. But again, we're trying to keep the form as strict as possible, and it's still something I'm working on right now. And now what we're doing is we're doing 2 back off sets. So we're dropping the load. We're doing lighter weight that we can control better, and it's just gonna kind of ingrain that technique. So that's what we're doing right now. Dropped it down to 245. Then I'll do probably another back off set with 225. And as you'll see in these sets, the weight is the form is gonna be a lot smoother, a lot cleaner probably. But over time, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to ingrain that technique so that I'm able to execute the lift better and more effectively, so that in time I can do just 3 sets and get just the same out of it. But right now the intensity is a bit lower because, like I said, we're trying to work on the technique. So next up, we're doing pull-ups, just body weight pull-ups, overhand, a little wider than shoulder width grip pull-ups. It's always been a staple in my routine. So we're gonna do just body weight. Typically today, I would, since I'm going heavier on this pull day, I would usually do weighted pull-ups in that 6 to 10 rep range. But since we don't have a weighted belt, we're just gonna do body weight. We're gonna do 3 working sets. The first 2 sets are gonna be 1 to 2 reps from failure. The last set all out, but as you can see, each set is gonna be, properly executed. We're not gonna cheat the reps. We're just gonna do what we can.
Working on a wide back. This is where you get width from. If you're on a wide back, pull-ups are a staple, man.
Next up, we just finished the pull-ups, bodyweight pull-ups. We're going into a chest-supported row. So we started out with a free weight row, a low row, engaging more of the lats, and now we're doing a chest-supported higher row, hitting more of the mid-traps, the rhomboids, the rear delts. And of course, since we're doing chest-supported, we're taking stress from the lower back, so we're really able to just isolate those back muscles. And what I'm typically doing here is, since it's not so technically demanding, I'm not trying to work on my technique like I did with the rows, the bent over rows. What we're doing now is we're just going to do 3 working sets and start off with like a heavier top set of maybe a 6 to 8 rep range, fill out a heavy weight you're not used to filling out, and then 2 back off sets of 8 to 12 rep range. And that's what I've been doing on this day. This is my heavier pull day, so I've been experimenting with doing like 3 working sets for most movements, 1 heavier, kind of like a top set. It kind of allows you just to feel weight you haven't felt before. And then there's the other 2 sets afterwards. They're more in that typical hypertrophy rep range, and they're just allowing you to kind of get a better connection with that muscle group. If you want.
So on these, like you said, it's hard to cheat on these. We're focusing, since it's chest supported, we're focusing on the squeeze on the way back and then focusing on the stretch down. So we started with heavy compound movement, and now we're doing more machine focused stuff. Just focusing, squeezing.
But what we're doing next is we're going to do the last real back movement. So it's going to be another vertical pull down. This time it's going to be underhand grip pull down. So before we were doing the overhand grip pull-ups, now we're going to do underhand grip pull down if we can. It's going to be the same concept as for like the chest supported rows. One heavier top set of 6 to 8 rep range, filling out a heavier weight. And then the next 2 sets will be back down sets around the 8 to 12 rep range. Typically it's just, I've noticed that when I do like the heavier top set like that, those next back off sets of like 8 to 12, they just feel lighter. So like, you know, for instance, you could do just 3 sets of 8 to 12 with a certain weight. But I feel like if I did that certain weight, whatever weight that is, that would feel heavier than if I did a top set, heavier set first, and then I back down to that weight and did just 2 sets of 8 to 12. So if you did like 135, for instance, on the pull downs, 3 sets of 8 to 12, for me, that would probably feel heavier if I just did those 3 straight sets compared to doing like maybe a top set with 150 and then dropping it down to that same weight. So it's just a concept, nothing really special about it, but that's what we're about to do.
So now we're going to jump into some biceps. Just warm up and then start with hammer curls and focus on high reps on these. Just focus on pushing as much blood into the muscles as possible. So we're going more hypertrophy, above 10 reps, probably 12 to 15. Just get as many reps in as possible. The forearms take over. Kind of a different type of movement. Having to work lightweight. Just
Keep it on the bicep.
Squeeze. Hitting the bicep from all angles. Hitting it from all angles. I feel like a big mistake people make is with arms. They put too much weight on there. They do low reps. You really want to do, I mean, weight's not everything. Form is everything, and on arms especially, you want to get as many reps as possible. 15 or better, 12 or better, and just burn them out. Gush as much blood in there. That's what makes them grow.
You can see there also, a lot of times when I'm doing these movements, I'm going to technical failure. So sometimes you'll see people do like a lot of partials and stuff. A lot of times you don't see me doing a lot of that. I just pretty much end the set whenever my form starts to fall apart. typically each rep, I have kind of a standard form for the rep. So once I, like for instance on these, once I can't get a full contraction, once I can't fully contract the biceps, the set is over.
I want to focus on a smooth motion. Like, don't be sloppy, man. It should be a smooth old machine. Your hands are just hooks, man. All the tension should be on the bicep. Focusing on the stretch, focusing on the squeeze. Just smooth, man. Don't get sloppy with it. Don't overcomplicate it, man.
Guns for the nuns.
Don't overcomplicate things. Simple but effective. All right, so that's a wrap on pull day. We ended up with 2 bicep movements at the end and 4 back movements. So we started off with a heavy compound and then moved into some machine stuff. Did some hypertrophy, but
yeah, basically, so this is kind of how I've been training. I have 2 rotations for my pull days. This is my second one where I go a bit higher rep ranges. Typically on my pull days, I'm doing the same movements, but on one pull day, I'll go a bit high, I'll do higher rep ranges, and this pull day I do a bit lower rep ranges, as you saw. And starting out with a compound movement where I'm loading the lower back. The other pull day, I'm not doing any lower back loading currently. That's just kind of how I'm currently doing things. We did skip a few movements due to time. Like I said, we didn't do the shrugs like I normally do. We didn't do any rear delt isolation. And we also only did 2 bicep movements, but we still got a pretty good workout in. And again, basically a big thing I like to preach is just the accuracy. You know, with whatever movements you're doing, you don't always have to do a ton of sets per exercise. As long as you're doing proper technique, you're getting the most out of each set. You know, for instance, I'm preaching, you know, going 1 or 2 reps from failure, like the first 2 sets and then the last set going all out. So it's all about like the intensity, you know, that's going to dictate how much volume you need to do. And again, you don't have to do everything exactly like we did today. This is just showing you kind of what I'm doing right now. And a
lot of it's like bouncing ideas off each other too. Like, we kind of train 2 different ways, and I learned stuff from him, he learned stuff from me, and we just kind of bounce ideas off each other and mix it up. And man, it was a good one.
So yeah, definitely pretty good. We'll have to get another one in. If you guys like this, you know, you gotta subscribe to Ryder, man.
Yeah,
subscribe
man.
To me.
Follow the man, future IFBB Pro right here.
I don't know about IFBB Pro, but you know, we're just trying to see how far we can go in the natural bodybuilding scene. I know a lot of you guys might know me from Instagram or whatever, and you know, you see me on there, but you don't really get to hear me talk much or really kind of open it up as much. I kind of, you know, typically do my own thing. If you guys like this, you know, let us know, and we might make another video. You know, just subscribe to the man, though. Yep. He's killing the game out here, man.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.